In the turbulent ocean of our daily lives, it's easy to get lost in the waves of stress and uncertainty. However, there is a way to find peace even in the midst of storms, a time-tested path to inner peace. Imagine that despite all challenges, whether it's pressure at work, conflicts in a relationship, or unexpected trials, you are standing strong as a rock, impervious to the storm. This isn't just a fantasy, it's the essence of Stoicism, which teaches us how to manage our emotions and reactions, allowing us to live more fulfilling lives. Today, we're going to dive into the basics of Stoicism and look at 10 timeless principles that can make a big difference in your perception of the inevitable ups and downs. These principles are not abstractions, but practical tools that you can use in your daily life to build resilience and inner strength. For example, when you are faced with a difficult relationship, remember the words of Epictetus. It is not things that bother people, but their opinions about things. This realization can help you not to take conflicts too personally. Or when responsibility begins to press, remember Seneca, difficulties are not terrible if we can overcome them. Each of these principles is a step toward living a life where external circumstances don't dictate your inner world. Whether it's striving to maintain mental clarity in the midst of chaos or mastering the art of emotional control, you'll gain the tools to cultivate confidence and calm. By the end of this journey, you will be armed with knowledge that will help you remain steadfast in any challenge. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give it a like, and let's start our dive. Maintain a firm goal. Imagine setting sail on the vast expanse of the ocean with no clear purpose, like a ship drifting at will, an easy prey to every change in the wind and waves. This is what life without a clear purpose can look like, chaotic and vulnerable to external circumstances. Epictetus emphasized the importance of clear intentions, stating that difficulties show that we are capable of more. When you have a firm purpose, it is like a compass that guides you through the turbulent waters of life. This purpose doesn't arise on its own. It is formed through a process of deep reflection on what really matters to you. It's not just about career aspirations or personal accomplishments, but also about the principles and values you want to dedicate your life to. Ask yourself important questions. What is your purpose? What kind of person do you want to become? The answers to these questions will help you identify your true purpose. When you identify your purpose, it will become the anchor that holds you amidst the chaos. Life will present you with challenges. It's inevitable. But with a clear purpose, those challenges become more manageable. They transform from impregnable mountains to stepping stones that you can overcome. When your goals and values are clear, significant obstacles can look like small steps toward your dreams. A solid goal is not a random discovery. It is the result of deliberate reflection on what really matters. Such a process takes time and honesty. You need to look deeply into your soul, beyond superficial desires, to understand what really drives you. This may require re-evaluating your life, abandoning old habits or adopting new attitudes. It is an ongoing journey of self-discovery. Remember, a firm purpose is not just a destination, but a guiding light that helps you move confidently and steadily along life's path. Consider a firm purpose as a beacon in the night. It not only guides you, but also provides a sense of security and stability when life's storms try to throw you off course. In moments of uncertainty, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Happiness depends on ourselves. Find your purpose, and you will be able to face any challenge. Control your emotions. When someone hurts us, it is natural to feel resentment and a desire for revenge. Our reactions to these situations are shaped by our thoughts and perceptions. This means that we have the ability to choose how to respond, rather than letting resentment overwhelm us. We can see it as a chance to strengthen our patience and self-awareness. Imagine this. Every time you remain calm and collected despite the circumstances, you are not just developing a skill, but mastering an art that requires daily practice. Start with small steps. Set achievable goals for the day. Every time you achieve even a small goal, your confidence increases and you reaffirm your ability to control your thoughts. Focus on the present moment and deepen your understanding of your emotions. Once you realize that you can choose your reaction, you become more resilient to life's challenges and less susceptible to negative emotions. Protecting your mind also involves setting boundaries. Be mindful of what you allow into your mental space. You wouldn't allow trash to fill your house. Likewise, don't allow negative thoughts and toxic people to clog your mind. Surround yourself with positive influences that inspire you. Read books that expand your horizons, engage in discussions that grow your mind, and spend time with people who support you on the path to your goals. In this approach to mindfulness lies your power and freedom. Practicing mindfulness regularly will help you avoid impulsive reactions, giving you more control over your emotional state. Another important aspect is developing a growth mindset. Look at obstacles as opportunities for personal growth, not as threats to your comfort. When you face challenges, remind yourself that each challenge is a chance to become stronger and wiser. This change in perception can completely transform your attitude toward adversity, making you more resilient and less vulnerable. Remember, mindfulness guarding is a lifelong journey. It's a constant choice to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your reactions and attitudes. It's giving up the victim mentality and embracing the role of active creator of your experience. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, and soon you will notice that external circumstances have less and less influence on your inner world. As Seneca said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Learn to respond to criticism. When someone criticizes us, it is natural to feel negative emotions and want to respond in the same way. However, Epictetus taught that we cannot control the opinions and actions of others, but we have complete power over our own reactions. This principle shows that even if someone makes a rude comment about us, we can decide how much it will affect our inner state. In today's world, it is important to realize that everyone has their own views and values that may not be the same as ours. Facing different opinions and sometimes harsh words is part of life. The key is how we process and respond to these situations. The first step in knowing how to handle criticism is to have a deep understanding of yourself. When you are clear about your motives and the reasons for your actions, criticism from others loses its edge. If you are confident that you are acting in accordance with your values, negative feedback loses its significance. This self-awareness creates a solid foundation that protects you from being easily influenced by the opinions of others. When faced with criticism, instead of immediately reacting defensively, pause and reflect. Does the criticism contain some truth? Even harsh words can contain useful insights that contribute to your development. This doesn't mean you should take all criticism at face value, but being open to reflecting on it demonstrates your maturity and willingness to learn. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of patience and gentleness. Patience allows us to keep our composure and not react impulsively to criticism, which helps us maintain healthy relationships with others, even when they disagree with us. Learning how to handle criticism also involves developing a thick skin. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or ignoring feedback, but rather building resilience. It is about realizing that not all criticism applies to you. Often people criticize others because of their own insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings. Recognizing this fact allows you to remain calm and respectful in your interactions. Handling criticism effectively can be an inspiration to others. When people see that you respond to criticism with grace, composure, and openness to learning, they begin to admire your strength and may follow your example. You become a model of resilience and emotional intelligence, embodying the principles of Stoicism in your daily life. As Seneca said, "A man who suffers from fear cannot be free." Learn to see criticism as an opportunity for growth, and you will be able to turn the negative into a positive. Transforming resentment. When we are confronted with resentment, it often seems that the events themselves cause us pain. However, as Epictetus taught, the true cause of our suffering is our own thoughts and perceptions. This means that when someone hurts you, it's not so much their words as it is your perception and reaction to them that strikes. Your power lies in deciding how much that offense will affect your inner state. This principle is liberating because it transfers control from external circumstances to your inner world. Transforming resentment does not mean suppressing your emotions. It is natural to feel hurt or anger when you are offended. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge these feelings without letting them control us. It is important to create a space between the event and your reaction. In that space, you find the strength to choose a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. One practical way to deal with resentment is through cognitive reappraisal. When you feel resentful, try to look at the situation from a different perspective. Instead of dwelling on the negativity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? For example, if a colleague criticizes your project, instead of taking it as an attack, consider whether there is something useful in their comments that will help you improve your work. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of empathy. When someone offends you, try to understand what may have prompted them to act in this way. Perhaps they are going through a difficult time or facing their own problems. This understanding can help you respond with empathy rather than anger. It is not about making excuses for bad behavior, but about seeing the person for their actions. Another effective method is practicing forgiveness. To hold a grudge is to hurt yourself first and foremost. It is similar to drinking poison and hoping it will harm another. By choosing forgiveness, you free yourself from the burden of negative emotions. Forgiveness does not mean approving of the offense, but rather releasing it from its impact on your life. It is a gift you give yourself, allowing you to move forward with peace in your soul. True strength lies not in avoiding difficulties, but in accepting and overcoming them. Every offense is an opportunity to strengthen your resilience. Just as muscles become stronger through resistance, your character is strengthened through overcoming and transforming resentments. The more you practice this approach, the easier it becomes, until you notice that external circumstances have less and less impact on your inner peace. Remember that transforming resentment is an ongoing practice. It is not something that can be mastered all at once. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to personal growth. Each time you choose to transform resentment, you strengthen yourself and build a more constructive future. As Marcus Aurelius said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters." Overcoming fear and shame. When we encounter negative emotions such as fear and shame, it is important to remember that these feelings often arise from our perception of events, not from the events themselves. Epictetus emphasized that we are the ones who give meaning to what is happening, thus creating internal conflict. Once we realize this, we can begin to change our reactions to fear and shame, turning them into tools for growth. Fear is often rooted in the unknown or the expectation of negative outcomes. It is a natural reaction designed to protect us, but it can become burdensome if left unchecked. Stoicism teaches us to face our fears with courage. Instead of avoiding what causes anxiety, it's helpful to ask ourselves, What exactly is it that scares me? By breaking the fear down into specific concerns, you may find that it loses its power. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, analyze what exactly triggers your fear: the judgment of the audience or the possibility of making a mistake. Often, by understanding your fears, you will be able to deal with them more effectively. Fear can be caused by the fear of being judged or making a mistake. However, it's important to remember that your audience has generally not come to judge you harshly, but to listen and learn. Even the most experienced speakers sometimes stumble. When you realize this and prepare in advance, you gradually build your confidence. Each time you speak, you become more resilient and confident. Shame is a powerful feeling that can make us feel unworthy. It often arises from societal pressures or past mistakes. Stoicism suggests that we accept our imperfections with courage and self-compassion. When you feel shame over a mistake, instead of letting it overwhelm you, face it directly. Ask yourself the question, what can I learn from this situation? This process of reflection helps turn shame into a valuable lesson rather than a source of self-deprecation. Another important tool for overcoming shame is self-forgiveness. Holding on to shame can lock us into constant self-criticism. By forgiving yourself, you release a heavy burden and allow yourself to move forward. This does not mean making excuses for your mistakes, but rather acknowledging them, learning from them, and letting go. This is a key step towards healing and personal growth. To begin practicing overcoming fear and shame, start with small steps. Gradually immerse yourself in situations that trigger these emotions, viewing them as learning opportunities. Over time, you will build resilience and notice that what once frightened or shamed you no longer has such power over you. This gradual approach and reflection will help you break free from negative emotions and gain new perspectives. Preparedness for obstacles. Each of us faces difficulties in our life's journey. Epictetus taught us not just to react to them, but to prepare in advance for possible trials. This approach does not imply pessimism or expecting the worst, but rather a realistic view of life that helps us to be prepared for the unexpected. When we recognize possible obstacles in advance, we can remain calm and deal constructively with problems when they arise. We can think through options for solutions and ways to manage our emotions. One practical method of anticipating difficulties is the mental rehearsal technique. This involves taking time to visualize possible problems and thinking about reactions to them. For example, before an important presentation, you can visualize what will happen if a technique fails or if difficult questions arise. This helps reduce the effect of surprise. By immersing yourself in such thoughts, you become less susceptible to stress and more flexible in your decision-making. Being prepared for obstacles also means being ready for change. Life rarely follows a predetermined plan, and fixed expectations can lead to disappointment. By recognizing that events can unfold unexpectedly, we can remain flexible and adjust our actions as needed. This ability to adapt is critical to successfully navigating life's uncertainties. It is also important to maintain a balanced perspective. While it is helpful to consider potential challenges, it is also important to be mindful of your strengths and resources. Assess your skills, knowledge, and support system that can help you meet challenges. This approach allows you to be prepared without sinking into excessive anxiety or negativism. Being prepared for obstacles fosters patience and perseverance. Knowing that challenges are inevitable allows you to remain calm in the process and be more resilient to setbacks. This is consistent with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes resilience and inner strength. As Seneca said, "He is not great who does not endure hardship, but he who remains unchanged in spite of it." Regular reflection, can also improve your ability to anticipate obstacles. Take time to analyze past events and identify patterns. What challenges did you face? How did you overcome them? What strategies were effective and what could be improved? By examining your experiences, you will be better prepared for future challenges. Mindfulness practices can further strengthen your ability to anticipate and manage challenges. Mindfulness helps you stay in the present moment, allowing you to recognize potential challenges early and respond thoughtfully. It improves emotional regulation, providing calm and focus even in stressful situations. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Happiness depends on ourselves." Developing inner strength. Each of us faces challenges that can cause stress and anxiety. Epictetus once observed, "It is not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it." This wise statement reminds us that our true power lies not in trying to change the world around us, but in knowing how to manage our internal reactions. When we face criticism from a loved one or encounter an unexpected setback, we always have a choice about how to react. These choices shape our character and define our lives. Inner strength begins with self-awareness and the practice of being conscious of our emotions. This does not mean suppressing feelings. Rather, it is observing them and understanding their origins. For example, if you are criticized at work, instead of instantly reacting negatively, try asking yourself questions. Why does this hurt me? Or, how can I use this information to grow? This self-awareness is the first step to building inner strength. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of understanding what we can control and what we can't. This knowledge helps us maintain inner peace. We have no power to change the opinions or actions of others, but we can control our reactions and attitudes. By focusing on what is in our power, we reduce stress and conserve energy. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If something is out of your power, don't waste your energy on it." Forgiveness is an important aspect of inner strength. Holding grudges and anger drains one's energy and clouds judgment. Stoicism teaches us to forgive, not to excuse bad behavior, but to free ourselves from its influence. By forgiving, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions and create space for healing. For example, if you have been wronged by a friend, forgiveness allows you to move forward without dwelling on the past. Developing resilience is another key to inner strength. Life is full of ups and downs, and setbacks are inevitable. It's important to view them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge is a chance to strengthen your character. When you face challenges, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this situation?" This practice makes you more adaptable and less susceptible to life's fluctuations. Stoicism also inspires us to seek support in the community. By surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and inspire, we can build our inner strength. Participate in discussions that challenge your thinking and seek out spiritual practices that give you guidance. These external sources of support help create a sense of belonging and purpose. Practicing gratitude is another effective way to build inner strength. Focusing on what you are grateful for helps to refocus your thinking, even in difficult moments. Take time each day to write down 3 things you are grateful for. This simple exercise can greatly increase your emotional resilience. Finally, inner strength involves accepting vulnerability. Acknowledging your fears and doubts doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. By facing your vulnerabilities with courage, you can turn them into a source of strength. As Seneca said, "A man's strength is shown by the way he deals with adversity." This acceptance allows you to move through life with authenticity and confidence. Deterrence of action. In our fast-paced lives, it is often necessary to control our reactions to external stimuli. Restraint does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending they are absent. Rather, it is more about acknowledging our feelings while not allowing them to dictate our behavior. It's about creating a gap between stimulus and response, a moment when we can reflect and choose the most sensible path. This practice of reflection can make a big difference in how we interact with the world around us. Imagine a situation in a store when the cashier gets the change wrong. Your first reaction may be anger or irritation. Instead of immediately speaking your thoughts, Stoicism suggests that you pause and consider your reaction. Will yelling or frustration make a difference? Hardly. By choosing to remain calm, you maintain control over your emotions and create a more constructive communication experience. One important aspect of holding back is the ability to delay gratification. In today's world, we are constantly tempted by quick pleasures that distract us from long-term goals. Stoicism reminds us of the value of patience and perseverance. By delaying immediate gratification and focusing on our long-term plans, we develop discipline and resilience. This is especially true in conflict situations. It is better to delay a reaction than to say something you will regret later. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of mindfulness in words. Before saying something, it's worth considering. Will it be constructive? Will it help build stronger relationships? Practicing restraint requires self-awareness and discipline. You need to be aware of your impulses and actively decide how to deal with them. For example, if you notice a habit of reacting quickly to criticism, set boundaries. Give yourself time to think before responding. Let's say you're struggling with procrastination. In this case, creating a clear schedule can help you stay organized and efficient. And if you have difficulty controlling anger, try incorporating relaxation practices into your life, such as deep breathing or yoga. Stoicism teaches us to act based on reason rather than emotion. This means that it is important to make decisions after carefully analyzing a situation and its consequences. Imagine you need to make an important decision at work. Instead of acting on impulse, take the time to gather information and analyze the pros and cons. This will allow you to make more informed decisions and feel more confident. Self-control is not about not being proactive. It's about being conscious about your choices and understanding their consequences. Regularly practicing self-control helps us achieve our goals more effectively and maintain inner peace. It is important to set aside time to reflect on your behavior. Conduct daily reflections. Analyze where you could have exercised more self-control and how you could have reacted differently. This practice promotes self-awareness and strengthens your resolve to act consciously. Another effective tool for deterring action is the daily practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you stay in the present moment and be attentive to your feelings, allowing you to recognize impulsive desires and choose more considered responses. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing your surroundings, integrating mindfulness into your daily life can greatly improve your ability to self-control. Learn to accept. Acceptance is the foundation for effective action in life. When we resist reality, we expend our energy and create unnecessary emotional stress. For example, if you are facing a relationship breakup, it is natural to feel sad and anxious. However, by accepting the situation, you can focus on the future. Perhaps thinking about new hobbies, socializing with friends, or even self-development. This proactive approach helps you cope more easily and reduces your emotional burden. Cultivating acceptance requires practicing mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you stay in the present moment and consciously observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Regular mindfulness practice develops the ability to accept each moment as it is, with all its imperfections. This creates a solid foundation for inner peace and stability. As Epictetus said, It is not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it. It's important to remember that acceptance is not defeat, but finding strength in difficult situations. Every event, even difficult ones, provides an opportunity for learning and growth. When you face challenges, ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this situation? Or, how can this experience strengthen me? This shift in thinking allows you to turn obstacles into stepping stones to personal growth. Overcoming perfectionism is another important challenge. Many of us strive for perfection in our careers, relationships, and personal accomplishments. However, this constant striving can lead to stress and dissatisfaction. Accepting that perfection is unattainable allows us to appreciate our efforts and progress. This doesn't mean lowering the bar, but realizing that imperfection is an inherent part of the human experience. Accepting our imperfections and failures with compassion helps us to live authentically and with gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for developing acceptance. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude allows us to notice the positives in life, even in difficult times. By practicing gratitude regularly, we strengthen our positive perception and enhance our ability to accept and appreciate life as it is. As Seneca said, no one can be happy unless he appreciates what he has. Acceptance also includes our relationships with others. Often we have inflated expectations about the behavior of those around us, which leads to disappointment when they don't meet our expectations. By accepting people for who they are, with all their strengths and weaknesses, we can build more harmonious relationships. This doesn't mean putting up with toxic behavior, but recognizing that everyone has their own story and challenges. By practicing empathy and compassion, we create space for authentic relationships and growth together. Living in harmony with nature. Stoic philosophers such as Epictetus argued that living in harmony with nature is the key to true happiness and inner peace. It involves recognizing our place in the world and acting in accordance with our rational and social nature. Living in alignment with nature means leading an authentic life in which we can reach our potential and act in unity with the universe. This path begins with self-awareness, which requires a deep understanding of one's true nature, values, and purpose. For example, if you feel that your work is not aligned with your inner beliefs, it is important to reflect on your true aspirations. By reflecting on your strengths and preferences, you can find a path that aligns with yourself, rather than simply conforming to the expectations of others. As Seneca said, "You cannot live well without knowing what your true desires are." Accepting the cycles of life is another important aspect of living according to nature. Life is like the changing seasons. It goes through phases of growth, stability, decline, and renewal. When we accept these changes, we can more easily cope with life's transitions. For example, if you have lost a loved one, realizing that grief is a natural part of life can help you recover more quickly and move on. Cultivating the virtues is central to Stoic philosophy. Wisdom helps us make informed decisions. Courage gives us strength to overcome difficulties. Justice encourages us to act with integrity, and moderation keeps us from extremes. For example, in a difficult situation at work, when a conflict with a co-worker demands your attention, applying wisdom and justice will help resolve it without unnecessary stress. Stoicism also teaches us to live in harmony with others. As social beings, we are dependent on relationships with others. Accepting our interdependence and contributing to the well-being of the community is an important aspect of living according to nature. A simple act, such as helping a neighbor in a difficult situation, can strengthen bonds and create a more supportive atmosphere. Embracing simplicity is another key element. In a world full of distractions and the pursuit of material things, it is easy to lose sight of what is truly important. Stoicism encourages us to let go of unnecessary things and focus on true values. For example, by reducing unnecessary things in your home, you can create space for the things that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's time with your family or hobbies. Gratitude also plays an important role in living according to nature. When we focus on what we are grateful for rather than what we lack, we change the way we see the world. Regularly practicing gratitude allows us to notice the positives in life, even when it is difficult. As Epictetus observed, "It is not the events that happen to you, but your attitude toward them that determines your happiness." Environmental responsibility is another important aspect of living according to nature. We must take care of the planet and its resources by making sustainable decisions and reducing waste. For example, by choosing to recycle and reducing the use of plastic, we can contribute to a sustainable future. This respect for nature and its ecosystems helps us strengthen our connection to the world around us. Incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives greatly helps us to live according to nature. Mindfulness allows us to be in the present moment and aware of our actions, which promotes more considered choices. Whether it's meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing nature, these practices help us connect with our inner nature and the world around us, encouraging us to act with intention and mindfulness. Thank you for being with us on this journey through the world of Stoic philosophy and its principles that can help you become unstressed and stress-free. We have discussed 10 powerful ideas that, if applied to your daily life, can significantly change your perception of difficulties and help you maintain inner peace. Don't forget that each of us is capable of change, and Stoicism is a tool that can lead to a more harmonious life. Apply these principles, and you will see your ability to handle challenges grow. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Write about which Stoic principles are closest to you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes, where we will continue to explore how philosophy can enrich our lives and help us become better versions of ourselves. Live with intention, practice virtue, and remain unfazed in the face of adversity.